explication on a song today instead of a poem. And I chose a song called 21st Century Digital Boy. It's by a band called Bad Religion. And I wouldn't say I don't have a reason for choosing this song. So I do. When I was younger, I hung out a lot with like my uncles and my cousins, and their music taste was really much like classic rock, punk rock, metal, all of that combined. And like anything cool that I know how to do, they basically taught me, like dirt bike riding, wake surfing, all that stuff. So when you hang out with people, you also adopt their music tastes. So when this assignment came up, I was thinking like, what's a song I could do that actually like means something and has meaning to it? And then so I just thought of this one. So a little bit of background on the band, if you know them, cool, if not, whatever. They formed together in LA in 1980, but they weren't really popular until the 90s. And they're mainly known for creating songs that have to do with like societal conflicts, religion, politics, social issues, media issues, and so on and so forth, pretty much like most punk rock bands. And 21st Century Digital Boy is like probably their most popular song, next to another one called American Jesus that kind of has like similar themes and meanings. And it's in their album Against the Grain, which was released in 1990. So overall, the whole entire album is just, it takes a strong standpoint of like intense scrutiny of modern day society and consumerist culture. And even though this was written like 30 years ago and the things they were talking about was like television and phones, it's still just as important, I think, today as it was when it was released. So themes of it, like desensitization, just modern society, technology definitely, consumerist culture 100%, and a little bit of mainstream media. And I'll actually just do the analysis before I play the song for you guys. So the first verse is, I can't believe it, the way you look sometimes, like a trampled flag on the city street, oh yeah, and I don't want it, the things you're offering me, symbolize barcode, quick ID. So what he's saying is that he doesn't want whatever new cool thing society's offering him. He doesn't want whatever new thing is on the market, the new best improved of anything, even though society's convincing him that it's so easy to obtain it with a symbolized barcode and a quick ID. And so then it goes into the chorus, which is, because I'm a 21st century digital boy, I don't know how to live, but I've got a lot of toys. My daddy's a lazy middle class intellectual, my mom is on Valium, so ineffectual, a life of mystery. So basically, now we know that he's a boy living in the 21st century, surrounded by television, technology, advertisements, consumerism. He has everything that he wants and needs at his fingertips, you know, toys, gadgets, foods, and so he just doesn't know what to do with himself. He doesn't know how to just live and be, which is an issue most young people have nowadays. And so now we can see that in this scenario, he has two parents that are equally both washed out and desensitized to everything that's going on. And so when in the song they say like a lazy middle class intellectual, I think it's important that they're middle class because a lot of things that are advertised and projected are really targeted towards middle class families in America. Like, you want this, you should buy this, you need this. You don't know that you need it, but you do need it, that kind of thing. And I think just he's a lazy middle class intellectual. His mom's on Valium, so ineffectual, which is a rhyme. It just shows that his parents are just as lost as he is. So the second verse is shorter. There's not really like much rhyme to it. I can't explain it. The things they're saying to me. It's going yeah, 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 oh yeah. So the like ungraceful, just a stream of yeah, 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 yeahs. I interpreted it as like he's referring to how young the like technology and overuse of technology dumbs minds of young people, where they can, you know, hear what is being told, but they can't actually listen to what's being said. It just goes in one ear and out the other. As is the case with just a lot of people in modern society, a lot can be said, and a lot of like meaningful things can be said, but not a lot is truly heard. Because what most people focus on is just whatever's on their phones. And so then the chorus repeats, and it's the same as before, except this time instead of I don't know how to live, he's saying I don't know how to read, but I've got a lot of toys. So the same thing repeated, a young man living in a modern consumer society where he can get anything he wants very easily. No sense of purpose, nothing to work for. And his parents are just as lost as he is, but at least they can conform to drugs and intellectual selfness, or maybe the dad thinks he's an intellectual individual, but again. Except now it's I don't know how to read instead of I don't know how to live. Basically insinuating that it's not really important to know how to read. Like, he doesn't have to read because he's got all this other stuff. Why should he have to read? It's not like the new thing. He doesn't need to know how to read. So the bridge is probably my favorite part. I tried to tell you about no control, but now I really don't know. And then you told me how bad you had to suffer. Is that really all you have to offer? Which is a little line at the end right there. So I interpreted it here like as the boy, who is the narrator of the song, as being like aware of his issues to an extent, and perhaps like he's going to someone, an older figure of some sort. I tried to tell you about no control, to say this is what's going on, this is how I feel, and what they can say in return is I've had it worse than you. Your struggles don't compare. Your generation's too soft. That's all you think about. You have nothing to struggle for. So, and I think it's a lot like how when modern issues are brought up, a lot of people, and I'm not saying everyone from past generations does this, but a lot of people do. They're like, well, think about people that were in the 40s and the 60s. They had a lot more struggles than your generation does. All you guys do is sit on your phones and you buy things and you're just too soft, right? And so even though, that generation had their struggles, World War II, World War I, World War II, everything, Vietnam, everything up till, now. Every generation just has a different set of struggles. And nowadays it's, overcoming modern day technology and finding a good balance in between the two. So that's why I think, and then you told me how bad you had to suffer. Is that really all you have to offer? He's saying this is a problem, and what most people can just say in return is, well, it's not as bad as what other generations had to go through. And the post-chorus, Cat's Foot, Iron Claw, 21st century digital boy. Neurosurgeons scream for more, 21st century digital boy. Innocence raped with napalm fire, 21st century digital boy. Anything I want, I really need. So actually the lines Cat's Foot, Iron Claw, and Neurosurgeons scream for more are taken from an older song that was written in the 60s called 21st Century Schizoid Man. And it's known that Cat's Foot, Iron Claw means that everything that is organic and real in society now will be replaced by machinery and artificial devices in the future. And neurosurgeons scream for more refers to the future being crowded, overpopulated, stressful, and anxiety-inducing, chaotic, and just insanity all around. And so, in the song, the neurosurgeons and the brain doctors in this future will benefit from all these perils on the human mind. And the last line is probably the best, though. I interpret it as, anything I want, I really need. So, society convinces people that everything that they see, they need. And so he says, anything I want, I really need. Because when they market towards people, they say, you really need this. You don't know that you need it, but you definitely do need it. So that's why he says, anything that I want, I really do need. Because you can just get it with ease. And that's not because he wants with ease. And the outro it just repeats everything, honestly. Except 21st Century Schizoid Boy refers to the other song by King Crimson. And the last line, 21st Century Sofa Boy, I believe that refers to newer generations being deemed as lazy. All you do is sit and watch TV, all you do is sit and you're on your phones, all you do is sit and read articles on your phones and so on and so forth. So, I'll play a song for you guys. Super loud.
It might be.
Okay.
For some reason, the volume thing doesn't pop up unless you right-click on it. So you might need to control it from Spotify or from the console up there.
Okay, I'm just gonna play it and hope for the best.
Yeah. Everybody just be ready.
Oh. Okay.
I might have missed this, and I'm sorry about that. But if it's 21st century, did they write this thinking ahead back in like the 80s and 90s? Okay.
Yeah, they wrote this in the 90s.
Okay.
That first version of the song.
Okay.
This recording.
Behind every broken plate is a
This is the new world. And in this world, you can be who.
Let's go back. And yeah, that's all. Does anyone have anything they want to ask or I don't know, bring up?
You can definitely hear the Offspring and Green Day in there.
Yeah.
Not so much the Clash, because the Clash
No.
got really eclectic, but
They wrote like a lot of older songs, this band. I don't really listen to their older stuff, but that stuff sounds like the Clash.
are they still around? Are they
Yeah,
still
they're
playing?
yeah, they're alive. They're still around. They tour. They're just not as popular as they were in the 90s.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there was a resurgence of punk with Green Day and Offspring,
Yeah.
so they
It
probably.
kind of like died down a bit, and then all those bands like became really popular. So